did.
Oh man, we just missed the quote of quotes. But everyone, welcome to the official first episode ever of For the Love of Prod. Hey, after 2 test runs, guys, I think we're ready to go. And if not, well, we'll go down, in a blaze of glory here. But as always, I am joined by Hunter and Megalass for the first time ever in the third dimension. And and for our first ever true episode, Person is our guest, man.
Hello.
So, guys, it's been a hell of a week. A lot happened in the past week for, I believe, the majority of us. A lot of us did stuff with OWCS and co-casting it. That was really fun. Watching some of the stuff that went down with it was really interesting too. But I mean, let's just get our opinions on everything there. Person, I don't know if you did any production stuff with it. I know Mega, you did a lot of it with CGL. Hunter, me and you hopped in when Mega was doing it on the NA side. But I mean, what was your guys' all like kind of takeaways from that?
I thought about doing it, and then I decided I was way too tired and then did not do it.
Fair enough. I think most of us, by the time the third series was starting in NA, we were just pooped anyway. We were tired as hell.
I couldn't. I wanted to stay up Sunday and watch everything happen. I was too tired too. But at the end of the day, I said Amplify would make it into the top 6. Amplify has done it. They're moving on. Let's go. It's all I could have ever asked for. I have no further comment at this time.
and Mega, I mean, you were there for a lot of it with CGL's co-cast. You were the producer for most of it, for at least the 2 I was a part of, right?
So I produced Thursday, Friday, and then I had to remember realizing my PC was struggling with like I'll tap Joker in. But I still was there pretty much every single day, and don't get me wrong, we love Overwatch here, but as somebody who's never produced before, trying to learn production, it's a time. Let me tell you that. It is a time and a half.
And hey, it's a perfect that we have Person on here as a producer, that we can get a little bit more inside on that. But Person, one of the things that we always do, if you've listened to the 2 test ones here, is when we bring someone on, we want to know what got you into esports and what keeps you going with it. I know you've done esports now for a while. I know you also do production and even some graphic design for the college you go to, for their traditional sports. Like, talk to us what got you into just esports though first.
So esports basically just started because this is gonna sound like every stereotypical story out there, but I was like kind of a loner in high school, didn't quite have a lot of friends. Like I had friends, but not a lot. So like my freshman year, our school had to have us do these things called passion projects. You do something, you research it, you plan out how you're gonna do it, and then you just go do it. And me and my friend, we got together because we were in like the same planning period for it. So we got together and we were like, because he liked guitar stuff, so he's like, how about we teach kids guitar? And I'm like, whatever, you do you, I'll just follow you, whatever. And then I was like scrolling through Facebook or Twitter one day and I saw something for the high school esports league and I said, shut up, we're doing this instead. I've decided I want to play Overwatch. Because I had played it on PlayStation before and like kind of felt like I wanted to play somewhat competitive. So I built an esports team from the ground up for my old high school, and it immediately came crumbling down within 2 years. Who knew that a lot of kids want to play Call of Duty, and we did not want to do Call of Duty because we weren't sure if the school was going to allow us. And then everyone either graduated or moved away, and there was one guy left. So that came crumbling down. But around the same time is when I got into Bad Pachimari League, and that was an experience for sure. My first team is widely thought of as the worst team in BPL history.
What team was that?
That's Superbald. We won the very first map of BPL season 2, and then not again for the rest of the season. It was a very complex team environment. I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna go into details because there's a lot, but yeah.
I can see Hunter reacting.
I've hung around BPL enough and I've been a part of enough teams to kind of already know the chaos that erupts. And from my own personal experiences, I'm good. I'm far better watching behind the scenes and just watching people play at this stage of the game.
Yeah, BPL is certainly a time as a player and as someone behind the scenes casting, and I'm person you've done it there as well, producing and observing. There's so many inside jokes that everyone has there. It's just like, if you haven't been around it, you just don't know, and you're just trying not to sound stupid half the time.
It gets to the point where people make icebergs of like every season that happens. Like somewhere out there's an iceberg about BPL season 2, like BPL season 3 and before that. And somewhere on there's at least 3 to 4 things that are Superbald related.
Superbald has came up a couple times when I've done it, and when people talked about what was the worst thing in BPL. And it's like, I think it was like Knock went through it with someone. I think it was, no, you were there and Knock was there, and they were going through it and they were talking about like the players on it. And it's like, oh yeah, there's you. And then everyone else here, I think there was like maybe 1 or 2 other people they had nice things to say about. And the rest are just like, yeah, they exist.
Yeah, it was a team of all time for sure. I think like half of the starting roster quit before week 4 or something. I don't talk to anyone on that team anymore. I haven't spoken to any of them in a while. Literally yesterday, Joshin, who was the captain of the parent team of them, was like, bro, how did you stay after that? Like, how?
It's Stockholm
and I'm
syndrome.
just like,
you just keep
and
coming
I'm just,
back.
I guess, and I was just like, I don't know, man. Like, yeah.
Listen, wasn't Rafa on that team?
Yes.
At least you had somebody who came out of it somewhat better.
That's supposed to be the silver lining right there.
Listen, okay, no, the silver lining. Okay, no, hang on. The actual silver lining is that the original worst team was the team that self-destructed that I captained, called Brazil Uprising, and so I thank Superbald because they technically did worse than us. Because
we are worse than a team who disbanded mid-season.
We took more maps. So yeah, I think of Superbald very fondly for that.
Oh my god, I fucking hate that team.
so that was your introduction into esports, what got you to start doing stuff besides play, but like the producing side of it and the observing side of it. What got you started there? Was it just how bad of an experience you had with Superbald and you're like, no, I'll go to the other side and see what that's like?
Actually, no, it wasn't. Because I'd hung around for a little bit, and then Avast Sub 24, that's a throwback, was the first time I was staff, because I saw that whoever, I think Solomon was running it mostly, I saw that whoever was running it pinged out for staff applications. I'm like, why not? Let's just go and see if I like it, whatnot. And I was a lobby admin first, so that was an interesting job. And I was a lobby admin basically until I gotta bring up my solid GG profile because I don't remember. Don't worry, guys, we're almost there. Trust me, I swear.
That's the
So I was
great
a
thing
lot.
about small Solomon stuff is you have the profile there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just right there. Um. So yeah, I was a lobby admin for about 2 years straight. Did only BPL stuff. There's a couple North American Community Cups there.
Mhm.
And then I had a bit of a falling out with BPL. Just needed a break. Everyone just kind of pissed me off in general. So I took about a year break, and then I came back, and then I lobby admin just a couple more times. And by this point, I was doing the real life sports production stuff. I'm like, I like doing this. How about I do Overwatch shit for fun? Because this was during the summer. My summer season is very dry. There's not a lot going on. So I'm just like, why don't I do it for fun? Just kind of stay fresh, don't get rusty. I'll do it for fun because I like doing it. So why not?
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of like what a lot of us did as well. Like, hey, this is really fun. Let's just see what else I can do with it so I can keep having fun. But like, person, I've definitely been around where I've definitely been in productions with you where I think there was one where you came in and just told the casters, yeah, I muted every observer there. They were pissing me off.
That happens sometimes. Live production environments always have some level of stress,
Mhm.
and it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if it's esports, doesn't matter if it's real life, doesn't matter if it's just you and one other guy. There's always some level of stress because in live production, I have a saying, it's not if something goes wrong but it's when something goes wrong, because something will inevitably go wrong. I think I've had maybe 5 games in the last 2-3 years go off perfectly with no problems. Something will inevitably go wrong. There are some days where your fuse is extremely short, and sometimes people say things that make you mad. And like, I'm really bad at this. I need to get better at this, but I get really mad to the point where I just don't talk with anyone. I just kind of shut everyone out, and I just want to get out of there as fast as possible.
Yeah, I understand. I like that statement you made there. Like, I kind of live my life like that, where like I know something's gonna go wrong. I'm kind of waiting for it to go wrong, and the more stuff goes right, it's like, okay, what's gonna blindside my day here at any moment? Could it be something small? Is it gonna be, oh, my tire's flat, I got in a car wreck, something like that?
Yeah, but like just this past week, I had a basketball production where we set everything up perfectly fine. We were great. We had everything there. We had backups of everything, and I still lost internet. Like we have a little network box that we can mesh local in-house Wi-Fi with T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T. And we have what's called tier 1 data. I'm going to nerd out for a bit here. We have what's called tier 1 data. So I think there's 3 tiers of data. Usually your cell phones are on tier 3, which is like the least important one. Tier 1 is what like first responders use when there's, say, a major disaster and there's not a lot of cell service around. Just so everyone that needs to communicate can still communicate. With that little network box, we have tier 1 data, so if something severely fucks up, we are still able to push out a stream. And for some reason, we lost data. Don't know why, don't know how. We just lost internet, and we just push on. We can't do anything about it. So
Yeah. Okay, I think you touched on it a little bit there, but what keeps you coming back to it? It like a lot of us, most of us, I would say it's like the people we work with. We love what we do, but what keeps you coming back to like keep on doing esports productions, especially at like the level that we're all at right now?
I think a lot of it is the people I work with. The casters. There's a couple that are a bit iffy, but most of them are great. The observers are great. The lobby admins are great. But I think what keeps me there is I still want to be involved in some way. Like, I know I'm not good enough to actually go out there and play. This is the same reasoning with real life sports. I know I'm not good enough, but I like sports and I still want to be involved in it in some way.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you there with sports. It's why I worked with the football team at my college when I was there. I couldn't play football, but it was cool to say, hey, like, I work for the team. Hunter, Mega, like, is there, can you guys relate to that in any way?
I wish I could. I wish specifically I could, that I kind of had that specific situation. But no, I wish I had a fun story for this. I genuinely wish I did, but like, I don't know. The schools I were in, like, there was no focus on that kind of thing. Like, I literally studied video production. That I mentioned this, like, when we did our introductions to the first episode, and yet I'm here on this side of the camera. So there's no inspiration from like a club or like some other kind of like thing I could have been interested in. So I have nothing. I'm boring. As I said before we jump to this thing, I am a boring white guy in the Midwest. So cheers to that. Megalass, go.
Cheers. I mean, like, nothing specific. It really is just like there's a rational part of my brain that's like, I'm never going to be a tier 1 esports player. That's just not going to happen, right? I'm too old. Reflex is too slow. All that jazz. But like, despite the fact of how angry it makes me, like, competing is just what I do. Especially BPL. Like, BPL is so unbelievably, like, in the grand scheme of tournaments, it's so unbelievably meaningless. Like, it's just sort of like, yeah, we're having a tournament. And a lot of people are just sort of putting around, having fun, whether it's snowdown, actual season, whatever. But like, I promise you, I'm going to keep signing up for BPL events until I win one. Once I win one, I can walk out happy. I can absolutely be like, all right, I'm good. I've done what I need to do. But I don't know. It's one of those things where being involved in some way, I have been getting more and more into coaching. And like, there is still that level of satisfaction that can come with just being involved and seeing the success that can come from, just your active help in the team, whether it's, coaching or just, something mundane and simple that you're doing. It does feel good, but I don't know. I think each person, get it, because person's here, is coded differently. I hate this guy so much. Why is he here?
Hey, you're the one that suggested.
Crazy.
Okay,
I did.
Person, quick
Yes.
sidebar. When I messaged you last week to be on last week's test, Mega was the person that suggested you first when I said, okay, hey, is there anyone you guys want to bring on? And Mega was the first person to respond, said person, because they will probably be able to just go on and talking about anything.
I did see she put person as a person, and I screenshotted that and said breaking news.
See, person is
Person,
like,
you're not real.
like how me and Fletch argue. Like, me and person do that to a lesser degree, where instead of getting angry, we just throw like half-cooked insults at each other.
I feel like we all have like a different kind of relationship with person. Person, I don't know if person and Hunter, I don't know if you guys like direct message each other a lot, but me and person, we will just send each other sports shit, and that's it. Like, we will only talk about, like, our Discord DMs are just sports and the dumb stuff that sports has. Like, hell, I think most of it is just the Sickos Committee, and then
I think so.
whatever fucking random mascot shit we can find.
Like this last one that I sent you about SpongeBob at the NASCAR race.
Yeah.
Bro,
Here, I'll put this so you two can see it. I'll put it in the VC chat.
Yeah, and
I'm not
here.
even gonna lie. If I hit on
Here.
person's like thing of message, I guarantee it's gonna be an empty chat. It's an empty.
Wait, did you actually-
I don't talk to you. I think I've worked with you like maybe 5 times.
Like
Nice.
this isn't like the oh woe is me statement, but not a lot of people DM me with random stuff. It's like mainly Fletch and Spectrian who randomly send me stuff.
Here, let me see if I can get this up. Yeah, I think that's it. Yep, here we go.
Oh,
Here we go. It is fucking SpongeBob. Here's the thing. That is SpongeBob and 7-time NASCAR champion Jimmy Johnson at the Busch Series at the time race for the SpongeBob SquarePants movie 400 or 250 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I was at this race.
Oh my god, it was actually sponsored by them.
Yes.
Is that you in the background? Is that you?
Fuck, it could be.
I gotta get the binoculars out. I think I see him.
I was at this race. Him and Kyle Busch raced themed cars. Jimmy Johnson raced SpongeBob. Kyle Busch raced Patrick.
Oh my god, that's great.
Man. Yeah, but that's basically the entire gist of what me and person will send each other. But like, I don't know where the hell it's gonna go with that. But like the
you got this?
Yeah, thanks. The dynamics that we all have with person are completely different. Like, person, I imagine there's probably been times where I've fucking gone off at you, but you've known it was like joking, like what Megalass does.
I'm just scrolling me in person's DMs, and I think my favorite one that I found so far is me saying, "I'm going to hit you with a frying pan in a comical way," and this fucker just replies, "Okay," nothing else.
Here, oh man, okay. I was gonna say post on images, but you're fine. You don't have to.
That's a lot what I do. Every time like someone like my favorite comeback to an insult is just okay thumbs up emoji.
It's just that one photo of like that one meme where it's the one dude yelling at everyone saying why are you having fun? And they're just like okay, and then continues to have fun.
I just found a perfect example. I'm leaking our DMs. I don't care.
Mega,
whose DMs are we linking?
Yours.
Invited your DMs.
Okay, fine. Okay, let me again.
Like I'm gonna beat you with a rock. Okay.
2 rocks.
What the fuck? Why did you send me Markiplier flying at me? What is this?
Oh, the Markiplier gift where he's like jumping and punching you? Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I had to get the ball rolling, man.
Yeah, that's Hazard.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Jesus.
But like person, you have like I know there are times where your observers have given you like these troubles and stuff, but like I imagine there's a lot like you said you're working on a little bit. I imagine you still have these kind of like conversation or these kind of messages with some of your some of the other producers, some of the other observers that you work with, right?
What's that? I wasn't paying attention, not gonna lie.
Bridge NA producer.
You know, Mega, I'm starting to understand you.
You're getting the person prod experience.
Mega, if you're talking, you might be muted.
Yeah, this is a factual statement. Where to find out what's happening here.
Pausing and championing.
No, okay. First, while Mega fixes this, like what I was getting at was even though you have some, I imagine you have. While you do have, sometimes you get angry at the observers and producers, the other producers, and probably sometimes casters. Like, do you have these other kind of dynamics with the people that you work with as well, at least on this side? And hell, you can even say it because I know you've gotten really pissed off at your boss on the traditional sports side of it as well.
We keep that for another time, I'm afraid. But yeah, I'd say 98% of the time it's all good vibes, it's all fun, you know. We're just messing about just guys being dudes, as some would say. You know, like just kind of joking around. Sometimes it does get a bit wild, and me as producer kind of has to rein everyone in, and then I fail to do that because they hear me go, "Okay, guys, let's settle it down," and then it just adds fuel to the fire. It's like I have a bottle of water that I'm trying to throw on a fire, and I don't realize that it's actually gasoline until it's way too late. But there are some times where it gets to be a bit too much, and I try to wrangle them in as best as I can, and if I'm lucky, it lasts about 5 minutes.
I mean, yeah, I completely get that, and like I've definitely sat in like the rooms before a cast and had it be like, how the hell is person like dealing with some of the shit that's going on here? Because there might be 1 or 2 times where one of the observers says something going on in the game, and the rest of it is like it's just some completely off topic thing. But like it's interesting to sit there in the observer call while a game's going on and hear what they're talking about, because it could be about the game, or it could be anything else, or you could have
It's so funny sometimes, because you'll just hear this string of incoherent nonsense just about random stuff, and then there's an actual comm in there that I need to pay attention to, and when I miss it because I'm not paying attention because it's directly next to the giant string of incoherent stuff, then they go, "Why didn't you get that?" I said, "What the fuck did you even say?" My favorite one is reached at, because every time there's something good that happens on their feed, you'll just hear them go, like it's just ingrained in my brain at this point. If I hear reach go, it means take reach as fast as I can.
Yeah, like I think it was a BPL cast, or BPL production, where there was just a chair. I forget if it was Reach or Orange, but there was a chair on Blizzard World that was just out in the middle of the map, and that was the only thing that they were like actively looking at the entire time. And
yeah, I know on Gibraltar there's chairs and other map assets just sitting in the void, and one of my observers has a button to go there, because observers have some hotkeys that they can put on, so like overheads and whatnot. One of my observers has a hotkey to just launch themselves into the void to go look at a chair floating. You can't even see like the map at this point, it's that far out, and I have to look at that and I have to go, "Please go get me something else." And they just go, "No, not until you show the chair." So then I just go, "Fine, I'll show the damn chair if you go get something else."
Mega, I want to ask you this, because you've been an observer, I believe, in the past. Is there anything like that on any of the maps that you kind of do, like hey, look at this, I want you to look at this, and you won't do anything else until they look at it?
See, I don't do that, but the issue is, like, my issue whenever I observe is I get far too goofy, as though I'm like a pro level observer when I'm just not. And I don't know why you mentioning Gibraltar reminded me of this, but if you ever want to see how not to observe, and MI Blizzard will vouch because we observed this match together. It was a match in CGL last season, somewhere around week 4 or 5. When I tell you, me and Blizzard both after the fact were like, "Guys, I think Headremmer has to invoice us for how bad we were." Like, me as the POV, if nobody would get a kill until I flicked off of them. Like, I would be spectating a Widow for 15 minutes straight, go off the Widow, immediately a kill happens. Blizzard on free cam, flying into walls and shit. We're just cackling, laughing our asses off. Like, after the first map, we realized it's so cooked, we're so bad, and it didn't get better. Like, it is. I need to see if I can find that series specifically, because it is an observing masterclass on how to be absolutely ass.
You see, the not getting kills until you swap off, that's just the observer curse, I'm afraid.
No, but for me, you don't understand. This series, like I said, I need to go and find the series. Like, anybody who is trained in observing or production or anything, if you watch this series, you will probably be laughing like a hyena, just like me and Blizzard were, because it was just so unbelievably bad. I don't remember who our producer was. I think it was like Rhino or somebody who just didn't say a word. It was just like quiet, and it was just bad. There's no other words for it. It was just bad.
Oh my god.
No, and Mega, didn't this also happen to you Thursday with OWCS, where like you were watching one player, and, like I think it was a Widow on a map, and every time you swapped off them, like, oh, here's 2 kills, we go back to watch them. Nothing. They missed every shot the moment you swapped off of them. Headshot.
Yeah, no. Listen, the OWCS this weekend for Thursday and Friday, I felt so bad because of the situation where it was a limited amount of co-streamers. Like, I realized about 2 matches in, I was like, oh god, I am actually a source of information for 90% of the people if they want to see these games, and they're having to look at my dog shit ass observing, and I just felt so unbelievably I was like absolutely in the like, I'm gonna be so real, I was mentally destroyed this weekend. Like, the reason I went into a nice arc was purely because like my mental was so boomed that it was the only thing preventing like full on bad things. Let's just put it that way.
But Mega, I like. Here's the thing: you say that as like you're the only one, you're the only source of some of these games of viewing. You have to remember what the hell we were talking about Thursday and Friday. We were like, I'll say this: we were struggling to really keep up with a lot of the games with how many people we had in there. Like, we all tried to drag the attention back to the games at points, but at the same time we all fell into the thing of like, we're gonna talk about other stuff. The game's going on. Okay. It's here.
Good old OWCS.
See, I don't feel as bad about that because if you're watching it, you can just mute us.
Yeah, you can just mute.
And I honestly, like, whenever we got off topic and we're yapping, I prefer that kind of co-stream so much more. Like, in terms of just a raw entertainment value, like, we had the game on, but then you got like the actual fan experience of like just people who enjoy Overwatch, just, you know, talking about random nonsense, occasionally being like, oh damn, there's a 3K or something like that. But like I enjoyed that. So like, I would not change anything about the co-stream besides the fact that I had to observe the first 2 days. That is the only thing I would change.
I mean, it wasn't bad observing. It wasn't. I'll say that. Like, it wasn't bad observing for. I mean, someone who's I've only observed like 2 games ever, and the only reason I stopped doing it is because my internet sucked. I could probably do it now if I truly wanted to try again. But Hunter, you were there. Was it?
I don't have many comments on this. I think it was quite fine. Like, I also prefer when we have these kind of co-streams where we simply just kind of banter and talk about things as well. Obviously, we give some level of focus to the game itself because that's why we're there. But I don't know. I much prefer that than to like take it. I don't want to say the words "take it seriously" necessarily, but in a thing where it's like, if we're all trying to kind of go serious about this and talk about things all as a group of what ended up being like 5 or 6 people at a time.
I think there were 7.
There
were 7 on Thursday.
I don't think I was there. I think I came for Friday and Saturday, and that was it, unfortunately. But no, it was super entertaining doing it the way we ended up doing it instead, and I hope we get the chance to keep doing it like that as well, like 100%.
Yeah, it was something we touched on. I don't know if it was at the start of this or the start of the podcast or some before we started it. Where you could tell where like there was the arc of like, okay, here's the energy. Oh God, it just went crashing down. Like it was that curve of like, hey, yeah, midway through second game, everyone's there. Second game ends. Oh, people are starting to fall off. Third game start. Oh God.
Well, to be fair, most of the games weren't particularly close, unfortunately, so it was hard to keep a certain energy about it. But there was a couple of bangers we ended up watching, though. So it kind of kept the energy when we got to those points. But it was only at the very end that y'all got like a super like close one in NA. It took getting to the very end of Sunday night, but it finally happened.
I mean, we got some 3-game series in there. The hell, the first one we did on Thursday was a 3-game series.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. It wasn't even the fact that these matches were rolled. Hazard meta is just so boring to watch because it's literally like you spectate the Hazard, then you're like, yep, the Hazard just got another 3K, and maybe with a DPS will kill one, maybe. Like the amount of Genji blades we saw just get shut down because the Genji just can't. It's not even the Genji's fault. It's just he can't do anything. It just led to such a boring experience.
Yeah, I mean, the bright side is that we have a patch coming in tomorrow, I believe. But the bad news is, to bring it right back, I don't think that changes things for what's to come for stage 1. I don't know if it changes, but I have my doubts.
I mean,
I don't know.
the last 2 tanks they've added, or I don't think Malga was the last tank they added before Hazard, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
like they just made 2 tanks that could survive so much and do so much damage as well, and it kind of hurts the game a little bit because it's just like, oh yeah, your tanks are just everything. Like your DPS, yeah, they can do stuff as well, but if your tank's just alive, it's like, hey, yeah, you're gonna win.
Yeah, and that's what tanks are nowadays. They it's all about survivability more than anything else. How long can your tank live? Let's find out by throwing them consistently into 4 other people and seeing what happens.
Yeah, personally, like oh, go ahead. You were gonna say something.
All I was gonna say was, spoiler alert: they don't die.
Person, I want to get your opinion on this as someone who has to run the productions on it, when especially we're in a meta like we are right now in Overwatch, where you're seeing one thing constantly over and over again, and like how we just said, Hazard is controversial. There's some people I've seen that say they like it. Some people I've just like. I think we all kind of agreed here. We just don't like it. As a producer who's trying to put on a good show, what, like, in this meta where it's one character that is just dominant, like, are you trying to showcase more than that, or are you just trying to put on the best thing so you are always going to be watching that dominant character?
I mean, I only get to see as much as my observers show me, and I really don't tend to direct observers at all, really. Just because of the people I work with, they're just so talented. They know what to do. Like, I don't have to micromanage, and I like that. I kind of just like to have everyone just kind of do their own thing. Sometimes I'll direct them, like, oh, give me this or give me that, or move somewhere else and whatnot. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't know, honestly. Like, we just go out there, we observe. Like, yeah, we see a lot of the Hazard because he's the one getting the 3 and the 4Ks, but I haven't really produced a lot in this Hazard meta. I did 2 games and they were at like 8 and 10 p.m. at night, so we were all already tired and just dead and wanting to get the games over with. Like, if you go back and watch the BPL games from last Wednesday, one of my observers lives in the UK, was producing at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and had a small break, and then observed and stopped observing around like 12:30 a.m. Eastern time. Or no, not that bad. It was like 11:30 Eastern time. And I put up a graphic because I have a graphic in there that's just a time.is link. And we flicked to the UK and it was like 4:30 at night. 4:30 in the morning, I should say.
I mean, that's just Spectreon. That's just Spectreon for like the people in the UK and Europe who decided to do NA productions. One, yeah, incredibly talented, maybe some of the most talented people of anyone I've ever worked with, and probably you guys would say the same. But like, holy shit, they're staying up till like you said, 4, 5 in the morning just to do an NA series that is just gonna end up being a sweep and non-consequential most times to what's actually going on. Like, please, y'all, I understand you're on this grind, but get some sleep.
10 p.m. start time is criminal anyways.
Yes.
But especially so if you're EU. Like, goddamn, go to bed.
I mean, that was literally this weekend with OWCS, no? I mean, there was... They literally... I don't know who approved the decision to start a game at 1 a.m. East Coast time, but that's
wild.
Yeah,
like like not even counting production, just from a player POV, the unbelievableness that is, like, that truly is just taking everybody involved in the process for granted and just being like, yeah, no, that'll be fine. It's just time.
yeah. Like, I just couldn't believe that every day they're saying, okay, yeah, we're gonna start at 8:30. Like, I can understand for Thursday and Friday, maybe even a little bit Saturday, but Sunday, like, hell, push that up an hour, 2 hours. So, like, the 1 a.m. thing doesn't happen. But even if you still do that, you're starting a game at, hell, if I said you push it back 2 hours, you're still starting a game at 11 p.m. EST, which, I mean, I've been a part of productions that have started at 11 p.m. at night. It's just like, I have to be very careful about how loud I am, what I'm saying. I don't want to wake my neighbors. It's just like, I imagine for the players, it's just like, you're already tired as hell. You've probably been playing for over 5 hours with, some breaks and warm-ups, scrims in between, and even games in between. Just like, you're exhausted. What are you actually going to get out of this?
You ever
Throw back
want
to last week when I DM'd you at like 11 p.m. Eastern. Hey, you want to cast right now?
Yeah, and I just responded, I'm in bed. No.
And I said, wakey, wakey.
You ever want to see how sleep can affect someone working on something? Go to the Owl Season 3 VODs and find the game where Hex is casting at like 3 in the morning US time. And he's just it's
that one.
a live crash out. Dude's actively swearing on broadcast and everything. Like, people need sleep. It's just the end of discussion, especially for, like, it sounds crazy, like, oh, it's esports, but you're sitting at a computer. But, like, no, the amount of sleep you actually need to be able to be focused and alert on any level to put together something that looks semi-competent is nuts.
Yeah, like,
there was a span. Go ahead, Dex.
No, I was just gonna add on to that thing. I think, like, Spec right now he can get away with it because he's in college, but, like, the moment
He's young.
Yeah, he's young. Like,
Yeah.
hell, based off today, we found out Unfeatured is younger than him, younger than him.
Ow.
But, like, he's young, still in school. I think the moment he gets out of school and potentially has a real job, if he gets one, because, hell, I think he's probably one of the most talented casters I've worked with. I could see him maybe doing something with casting, but, like, if he gets a real job outside of esports, like, you can't do these hours anymore. You're gonna have to get sleep.
Last summer, I did a lot of different jobs, and for a span of about 3 weeks, I had roughly like 4 hours of sleep a night, and that got to the point where I genuinely crashed out during one of my real life broadcasts. And it got me a mandatory mental health day. Cause they're like, go the fuck to sleep. And I was like, cool. And I pulled up to a BPL and I went, hey, I'm here to lobby admin, and everyone went, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I said, I hate myself.
People are trying to help you, but you're your worst enemy.
Ask Knock about it. Ask Knock about it sometime.
Like, that is a diabolical combo. A mental health day, and you decided to walk into BPL. That's actually the
and
most
lobby admin doing the job where I have to interact with the most annoying people in the entire goddamn scene.
Next time you get a mental health day, we just need someone to come put a straitjacket on you and throw you in a padded room for a day.
Somebody should turn off my Wi-Fi, yeah.
No, not even Wi-Fi. You're just going straight to the padded room, man.
It's okay. Here, person, wait, you're getting a mental health day tomorrow, right, person?
No, I have court tomorrow.
Why do you have court?
I got summoned for jury duty.
I
got summoned. I have to go.
Okay, well, tell court you're busy. There's a new zombie map dropping.
Person, go to court and just to get out of it, say you know the defendant. And when they say how, you say, I don't want to tell you
that. I mean, there's a somewhat slim chance I probably already know about the case, but we'll see.
Person, what the
You
hell?
know, person, we're leaking fun facts. You should just leak the amount of money you're owed while you're at it.
No.
That'd
No.
be beautiful.
37.
No, shut it. I don't want it. If this is your real job, yeah, sure, go ahead. If
Yeah, it's
online stuff,
real job. It's real
okay,
job.
yeah, go ahead. Real job, go ahead. If you
I
want
actually
to.
don't know. I've worked a little bit since then. I gotta look this up real quick. But I believe we're somewhere in the residency of $3,700 to $3,800.
Fuck. Okay.
That's
Okay.
money.
From production work. This kid, I've yelled at him so many times to go to like yell at his boss. This is another thing about production. Make sure if it is a paid thing, make sure you get your goddamn bread. Do not be
Okay.
intimidated. Do not be like, oh, I'm too scared to bother
I've done the
people.
math. We're
Uh-huh.
at $3,776.25.
Dear God. Okay.
Eventually, Prage.
Yeah, you'll eventually get it. But speaking of your real job, person,
Mhm.
like I want to know this. Like, you do esports, you do traditional sports. What's the differences? What's the similarities? Because while I imagine it's completely different, with esports you have observers, and traditional sports you have cameramen, camera people. I imagine they are something very, very similar in that, or are they like two completely different like beasts that you just have to learn how to do both with?
I'm gonna say both because again, I only get to see as much as my cameramen show me. And unlike Overwatch, we don't get a magical camera that can fly around and go through walls and everything. So
Not yet.
we're basically, I'm not gonna say we're like kind of stuck, but we have static cameras. They just sit in one spot and then pan from side to side. None of this flying around heebie-jeebie stuff, which I would love to have a sky cam. Unfortunately, it's just not in the budget because
Hey.
them be expensive.
Hey, convince your boss to buy a drone, attach a GoPro to it, fly it into players, see what happens.
Yeah, let me see what the NJCAA will say about that. Let me get right on that, Chief.
Hey, revolutionize how the NJC whatever,
It's the NCAA. Just add a J in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a J in the wrong spot, dude.
Okay.
I know there's two spots to add it. I will add it in the wrong spot.
But yeah, we get. So I will say one of the big pluses to real life sports, aside from esports, is with esports you get less of the player reaction. Like the most you'll get is someone wiggling their mouse around like crazy. In real life sports, you get to see the face, you get to see the emotion, you get to see them like all pumped up and stuff and everything. Like last week, one of our players hit a massive dunk, and you got to see that he was so hyped about it. Like he was punching the air, he was yelling, he was like bumping teammates in the chest. That is one of the things I like the most about real life production, aside from esports, is that you get to see the player reaction. Yes, sometimes there are player cams at esports, but they're not really that popular, and not everyone has them.
Mhm.
In real life sports, no one has a choice to have their face shown or not. Unless it's football, you kind of just have to. I feel like, in a way, the storylines in real life sports can also be followed just a little bit easier. Just a little bit easier than esports because, again, you get to see that emotion and whatnot. So, like, again, a couple weeks ago, we had a coach wasn't really happy with the refs, who really is, though, let's all be honest here. And
Refs suck.
pretty much every timeout we had, or every foul that was just an inch of being questionable, I told one of my cameras, go get the coach. He's about to get a technical because he's yelling his ass off. He didn't, thank God, because I was our coach. And being employed by the school, I am biased towards the school. I just kind of gotta be. But yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Well, if they don't do good, then I work less. So
Fair enough. But
Bias in the name of financial gain.
exactly.
But like one thing, yeah, traditional sports, I agree with you, is a lot easier to get those reactions to. But esports, you can get the reactions. They might not be like as what I would say hard as they are in traditional sports, where it's like, yeah, you can get them yelling, you can get them absolutely pumped up. But in esports, it's like it's funnier. It's like you either see the chat message or they're just popping an emote, which
Absolutely.
I think is some of the funniest and most disrespectful shit you can do in any kind of in esports is just to pop an emote on a player. Like teabagging or tactical crouching, as I think we've all kind of called it at one point or another. Like, yeah, it's like, okay, cool. If a person tilts off that, yes, it's funny. It is absolutely hilarious to see someone tilt off.
I will say I've never seen anyone get teabagged in real life sports, so it can theoretically still happen.
It can.
It's just incredibly unlikely.
Yeah, like, but esports, like in traditional sports, especially at like higher levels, everyone's kind of friends with each other. Yeah, there's still gonna be some like rivalries out there, but it seems like in esports, like everyone knows each other. They know like everyone's kind of messing around, and they'll do that. Like even if it's an inconsequential kill, like, oh yeah, we're gonna lose this map, but I killed you, so I'm just gonna go over there and teabag on you. Like that's something we've definitely seen a lot in like, especially BPL, because like I said before, BPL has so many like inside jokes, and just if you've been there long enough, you've interacted with everybody at least once, it seems.
Oh yeah.
For sure, it is like just about those tiny little moments. Like I'm pretty sure it was it was Goats from a year ago. I can't remember which specific number. I think it's technically the second Goats tournament, but like we performed terribly. We were awful, but we ended up facing against Lethal's team, and I have like the screenshot still of me like eating Lethal's grab and killing him, and I'm pretty sure that was like in my banner for a solid like 2 months because it was the only good thing to come out of that entire experience, because we went like
I remember
like 3-7 that weekend or something. It was not great. We were not prepared to play in open division at a time, by the way, where there were a lot of people who were like Overwatch like talent that were in that freaking tournament. So, you know, just a time it one-sided, but it is just about those like those fun little moments like that. That's where I get like a ton of the enjoyment from, and I'm sure that's the case for I don't know a lot of people who still play this at the level we do.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, person, you've had to deal with all of us as casters, I imagine, at least once. Like, and do you? I know you're in 2 calls at once here, especially as a producer. You have to be in 2 calls at once. Do you just go insane hearing potentially 7 voices in your head at once?
As a wise man once said, crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room, a rubber room with rats, and rats make me crazy. He's just gone.
Yeah,
he's
gone. Mega, give me confirmation that you're still there.
I mean, I was just trying to think about the logistics of me walking away, but I'm too lazy, I'm kind of comfy.
Someone bring him back. Someone bring him back. I think I killed him.
No, you definitely didn't kill him. He clearly like stood up and walked away.
You committed so much cringe that he had to leave.
I really thought you were not gonna go the cringe route. I thought that you were just gonna be like, oh yeah, you just mute your casters. You never have to listen to those idiots anyway.
In all seriousness, though, it helps that I have voice meter installed. Hi, Hunter. Welcome back.
He can't hear us. He can't hear us yet.
I'm waiting.
Just continue it.
Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room.
That was even harder of a slam. Oh my goodness. I don't know if he's coming back this time, but yeah, continue on what you were gonna say.
So, thankfully, with a voice meter, I have it installed. you're able to split audio channels out. Sorry, I still can't get over the headphone slam. But you're able to split out audio channels. So what I do? Did he just yell "fuck"?
I don't know. He probably did.
Oh,
But I have my observers in my left ear and I have my casters in my right ear. So I'm not like listening to them over each other. I'm listening to them separately. Usually it's the observers that drive me crazy. I'm not gonna say it again, I swear. Oh, he's back? Do I do it
Don't
again?
do it.
Do I do
Don't
it?
do
No,
it.
I won't
Don't
do it.
do it. Don't do it. We're in the final couple minutes. Don't do it. We actually need here to end it.
But it's mostly the observers who drive me bad sometimes because again, they do get rowdy in there, and I do have to be like a parent sometimes where I'd be like, "Okay, kids, calm down." You know, it feels like we got to go back to grade school with like the colors and the clothespins and stuff sometimes. But
Wait, Hunter, say something?
there's some.
Okay, yeah, he's back.
Welcome back, Hunter.
How's it going? Fucked up my lighting. There it goes.
Yeah, no, but like
That was a legendary headphone slam, not gonna lie.
Person, like I have to agree with you, and this is something I think we touched on last week when we were talking about like some of the people we work with. Like, yeah, the producers and observers are great, but sometimes the observers, like, they'll be observing, but also just posting like fucking memes in the goddamn live one chat, and I'm like, yeah, great guys, I love these are funny, but like the producer was saying something, or someone, or whoever's lobby adminning was saying something in the thing that I'm trying to read, but I can't read it.
I think what's important most of all is we have fun.
Mm.
Why would you do this if it wasn't fun?
Mm.
I think having fun, just being around the people you like is a big thing. That is, going back to way earlier, that is why I'm still here. Because it's fun just to hang out, just to have fun, 2-3 nights a week, just go in there, fuck about, try to put on a good show usually. Yes, there's stressful moments, but it's fun. Then we get to laugh on the stress and see like, oh, this guy got mad over no reason, laugh at him. But it's great. It's good fun. Sometimes it do get a little bit too much, like you said, where they just start posting random shit. Just all of your behind the scenes with especially the chunky milk. Oh my god. But yeah.
That's the second straight week we've brought up the chunky milk.
I was gonna say, with the amount that person has referenced things that Orange has definitely done, I think you need to find Orange as the next guest.
Maybe.
I have a couple ideas for the next guest. I'm gonna start reaching out to multiple people here.
Who we know?
What?
Reach.
Okay, here's another dumb bit that producers and observers do. Anytime, like, if you would be like, oh yeah, there's a person over there, person will be like, who? Or if you say like Orange, you'll be like, who? Like, just constantly.
It's gotten to the point.
Anybody's name.
It's gotten to the point. Orange has said that person doesn't fucking count anymore because it's too common.
I hate this guy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but going back to what I was saying, like I have a couple ideas for more guests here, and like it's definitely ones we've talked about in the past, but like getting some of the observers to come in here, I feel like would be really, really funny, because then we could also just have them talk about person and his producing style.
They are mad at me because I produce like it's a fucking football or basketball game, and then they go, "Why are you still on me?" And I say, "Because I'm used to this."
We're getting that long shot. Yeah, this everything might be over, but I want to get it for dramatic effect.
One of the things that ticks them off is how I order my observers, because my free cam is my quote unquote main camera, and I always have my main camera on 1. when everyone else does it POV free cam, I do free cam POV, and it just makes them mad, and it's so fucking funny.
Absolutely. But yeah, we're coming up to that hour point here. Any final things you guys want to add, Person? Any final things you want to add, Mega? You want to threaten Person one more time?
Nah.
It's aw, it's so nice of you.
That's crazy.
I'm on my
That
That was
notes.
crazy.
Well, I'm going to say in my notes, first of all, go the Ohio State Buckeyes. By the time you're watching this tomorrow morning, they will have won the national championship. And make sure to watch this weekend, Kunoichi Rising Championship. It's happening Saturday and Sunday coming up here. Watch it. It's going to be great. A lot of great teams.
Don't watch it.
It's been
Don't
very
watch
entertaining season.
Mega,
Do
you
not
doing
watch
it?
Year for that matter.
Don't watch it. Do not
Watch it.
We
Mega-
haven't scrimmed
Megalass is
once.
going to pop off.
We haven't scrimmed once, mate.
Hey,
It's
that's
very
Oh.
fucking good.
scrimming's for nerds anyway. I mean, look
Screaming is for
Look at the
nerds.
face it team we
No.
started. Have we even scrimmed once? No.
Literally, the only way it's gonna be good is if there's a very fun patch tomorrow. But I do not think that's happening because Overwatch smells.
Guys, my boss just sent me a Facebook friend request.
No.
Do I accept it and immediately send him a message saying pay me?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, sure, do that. Immediately accept it. Hunter. Okay, no, what? You said your final words. Person,
I said my thoughts.
Person, you have any last words here?
No, not a lot. Just thanks for bringing me on.
Yeah.
I know mostly all of you. Hunter, I know you like fucking barely. I've worked with you like 10 times. Just sign up for more stuff. I swear, man.
I signed up for a ton of stuff. It's just never with you.
Yeah, man. It's just like, Person, you're the one who's avoiding him.
Are you in A stream jail?
I get thrown in B stream jail a lot. It feels like.
Hell.
What the hell? Man?
Hey, I was in C stream jail on BPL, and then Nock talked to me about it, and then immediately threw me on. He said, "Hey, I'm always putting you on C. I should probably put you on A," and then he immediately threw me on D.
Oh my
D is
god!
We have a D.
Yeah, no, there
Yeah.
was
gets
one
used
time. There was one
Unironically,
time.
like once every 2 years.
Yeah, there was
There-
one time last BPL season, where D was used, and it was
What?
specifically after Knock on Wood talked to me about, hey, I should put you on I should put you on like B or A, and I'm like, dude, I'm just happy to cast. So he threw me on D. But y'all, that will do it for us this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wow, holy shit! Thank you so
Turning
much.
in.
Person, I will end you. Thank you
Okay.
so. Thank you
Thumbs
so.
up emoji.
Shut up. Let me do this sign off. Holy shit. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for. I can't say it.
Love you, Dex.
Thank you for watching the first true episode of For the Love of Prod. Join us next week when we will have someone be the guest. Again, follow everyone here on Twitter, Blue Sky, and hey, start a Spotify. Hopefully you're watching us there. If you're still watching us on YouTube, For the Love of Prod on Spotify. Again, thank y'all so much for tuning in, and see y'all next week.